You got music?
It's a little intro.
Yeah.
You're listening to Inside Real Estate, your source for all things mortgage and real estate related. The show that brings you all the hottest topics and insights directly from those who know it most. Now sit back and enjoy the show.
Yo, Paul Poslak is Salvatore Kuzmano. We are sans Brad Weisgerber because he lives in Timbuktu and he can't make it here on time. Yeah. He's got issues.
Just leave earlier.
Brad Weisgerber has issues. What's up, everyone? We are Inside Real Estate. We have a special guest today. His name is Sheel Sohal. He comes from Keller Williams Domain in Birmingham, Michigan. What is up, my dude?
What's happening, guys?
How are you?
Good. Appreciate you guys coming here or letting me come here.
Yeah,
actually. That's the truth.
This is our place, actually.
Yeah, thanks for stopping by.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So glad you made it. I know that we were trying to set this up, but Sheel's got an interesting story. He's actually very new in the industry as far as being a realtor, and you're carving out a good little niche for yourself.
For sure. Going on about a little bit over 18 months.
Yeah.
So I'm past the 2-year mark almost, but are gonna get there. But I've been focused on this business all this time, and I've been looking at other opportunities, how to grow more. But everything I've been doing is just planning versus execution.
Yeah.
So that's what I was focused on. That's what I'm seeing. I look at other realtors, see what they're doing.
Yeah.
And now things have become a lot better for me.
So it's interesting. I mean, you basically started real estate when you started our company, but so it's an interesting time to get into the industry because a lot of people have been here for a while. And you also chose to go high-end luxury market as opposed to, which is a tougher market to kind of break into.
Right. So I tell everyone, I'll sell anything. I'll sell $100 million house. I'll sell $1 million house.
Yeah.
I'll sell $100,000 house.
Right.
I mean, I'm selling $100,000 house. So that's
Yeah.
how I look at it. So at first I was like, oh, maybe I should specialize just in like 1 square foot, like the luxury area.
Yeah.
But then I was like, in this market, like 2 blocks can mean the difference of $2 million.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
So, I mean, you can be in Birmingham 2 footsteps away, you're in Bloomfield. And
Right.
you see those different valuations. So I started studying the market trends, seeing what really sells. I mean, there's Detroit that's booming. There's Royal Oak that's booming. There's Birmingham. There's different areas.
Yeah.
So that's what I noticed. I'm sure you guys see that day to day, pre-approving these people. every
Oh
day.
yeah, for sure. It's all over the place. So let me talk to me about the mentality. So why get it? Because I know you do other stuff, but why did you decide to get into real estate?
So I was looking at Michigan's market. If you're not in the food business, what else is there really to do? I was always familiar with price per square foot because I actually own commercial buildings too.
Okay.
So I was also in commercial development. So, but the way I did it, I was more like a landlord, and I still am.
Yeah.
But when I just started, seeing how the real estate market was doing, I saw what my parents' house valuation is. I see how my friends are now buying. Someone's gonna get this money from them.
Yeah. I mean,
So
there's money to be made, right?
There's money to be made, but then there's also the satisfaction of handing keys over.
Yeah.
Which I noticed.
Yeah, it's
probably the first transaction.
pretty good feeling.
Forgot about the check.
Yeah. You're like, all right. Yeah. People are happy.
Yeah. So
Right.
that was good. I noticed that, just how houses move really, really quick. The marketing behind it, there's a brand behind it. I PR the living heck out of my own brand.
Yeah.
And, I have an Instagram account that's purely just for real estate. I don't have a personal one anymore because this is my Michigan life, which is real estate residential.
Yeah.
And it's really fun. I can tell
So
you
you're
that.
choosing to utilize a lot of marketing in your strategy.
Yeah, so when I initially started, I kind of just was looking around, seeing how people would do it. People cold call, people reach out to their sphere. That's a Keller Williams thing.
Yeah. You got to
And
hit up all the people. Yeah. Of
You hit up all
course.
your people. So
Yeah.
I didn't do that probably for the first 4 months because I
Mhm.
was transitioning into the business. And luckily I'm in one of the top tier brokerages in Birmingham.
Yeah.
I mean, we're killing it right now. I think we have over 200 agents.
Yeah.
So I was able to at least shadow some of the bulldogs, the ones who just
Mhm.
literally crush it, 40 million up.
Yeah.
And those guys are still there, and they're still they're breaking their barriers. So it's fun competition being in an industry where, because the truth is, the way I look at it is that I have the same job as everyone in my office.
It's no different.
I have the same exact job. We have the same duties, fiduciary duties. So we should all be doing well.
Right.
There's no reason why you can't do well.
Right.
So that was my mentality. And then I just followed their traits. I looked at their traits, and I saw how can I position myself in front of other realtors. So that was a fun factor trying to play around with. I always tell people you got to retool no matter what. You can't have one seamless job. You have to reposition yourself to make yourself better in this industry.
Yeah. You've got to reinvent yourself
And that's
a
the same
thousand
thing.
times.
I'm thinking for mortgages too. 'Cause
Yeah,
there's
dude,
a lot of lenders. There's a lot of
Well, the thing.
Hellos.
Go ahead, Sal.
No, I mean, I think you hit the nail on the head, right? If you're not changing, if you're not evolving, you're only going to be as good as you were, right? So you
Sure.
kind of got to break the mold every day, every month, however you want to look at it. But say 24 hours in a day as the guy who's doing 40 mil.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and like you said, I think that's a good approach even getting into it, right? Like, hey, someone's going to do it.
Right.
I could.
Right. And
Right?
I was
Why
even
not me, right?
exactly. And I was even looking. I was like, I noticed a lot of people are in the office a lot. That's because the mentality really is if you work hard in the office, you'll have a better work ethic than at home, because you are your own boss, your own CEO. That's
Yeah.
what I learned from a lot of realtors say that, like you're the own CEO of your company. So I figured, let's just focus on that tool, and
Yeah.
see where it takes
Mhm.
us. So
So you're saying that, wait, so just to go back on that. So you're saying that you go, I mean, because as an agent, as a loan officer in certain scenarios, you don't have to necessarily be in the office, right?
yeah, you don't have to be.
But
You should
you-
be on the road.
Yeah.
That's what they say.
Right. You should be hitting the road. But you're saying that you do go to the office every day.
I'm at the office every day. I'm actually at the office early. People say like, oh, I'm the first one in the office and the last one in the
Yeah.
office to leave. Truth is, it doesn't matter how long you're in the office for. It matters how you use that time.
Yeah.
I can be in the
Right.
office for
Yeah.
3 hours
True.
just crunching.
There's a
out.
lot of people in the office
So
that
just look at
On YouTube.
ESPN.
Ryan
well,
Serhant.
let's say, or they think they're working. They
Yeah.
think they're working, but they're just not. They're getting in their own way, or they're focusing on things that could be delegated, right? And it's like, what are you doing?
Right.
Like, how are you getting more business, or are you just focusing on what you have?
Right. Exactly. Yeah. And that's why I would go in the office. I would hit the phones. How everyone starts off, and I would just network like there's no tomorrow. That's all I'd say.
Networking is the
Network
biggest
is
thing.
like the keyest thing. It landed me big listings. It
Yeah.
landed me big clients. And
I think some of the best agents with the best businesses, prioritize networking at a high level.
Yeah. Well, you know, it is funny, right? Because everyone also uses this like saying, or agents, hey, this is $1 million listing, right? Or you're not. This isn't HGTV. Like, no, it can be. You know, if you work hard enough, I think you can figure out how to get there in a short time.
it looks fun. Like, it looks fun.
Looks
but there's
sexy.
A lot of,
Yeah.
It looks sexy, but there's a lot of work behind the scenes.
Right.
Yeah.
Out of me, I have a calculator. Right? I'm crunching numbers.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm talking price per square foot. I'm talking valuations, taxes, like those type of things.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So like it's a lot of work behind the scenes, and I have people ask me like, how do I get into real estate? Well, I see every day someone's getting into real estate. Which
Every
is
day.
great,
Mhm.
which is great for them.
Every day everybody's getting out though too.
Everyone, yeah.
Yeah.
So every day I'm like, oh, there's that other person to compete with.
But a lot of people, I think, are doing well quickly. Younger people,
Yeah.
right?
'Cause they're
they
adapt-
understand the.
They're not the old guard. I believe this wholeheartedly. If you're
Oh, and they're understanding the new market.
correct.
Right,
Correct.
right. And like when I started joining, I see a lot of people like just blast out, hey, I'm a new realtor. I always say, don't just try to like make yourself look like you know what you're doing.
Act as if, man.
Because like if I have friends who use other realtors who've been doing this for years, so like
Mhm.
experience outweighs that sometimes. So I don't even look at the friendship
Right.
stuff. I was like, that's why the first probably 4 months I was literally following people. I was going to open, like I was watching people work. In
Well,
the
I'll tell
industry.
you, I never met you before,
Yeah.
right, this morning, but I mean, I thought you were in this for a long time, like killing it. Like,
Yeah, people think that, but I'm a newer agent. I'm gonna be going for my broker's license shortly because I actually have my MBA, so you can.
Yeah,
get
you
ahead
can
of
use that as the
Yeah.
criteria. Yeah.
So I'm gonna be doing that. But the way I look at it is, that's good. I want that. I want people to look at that.
The
way.
perception,
Yeah.
of like professionalism,
And-
but that is built by by being constant with your marketing as well, right?
Yeah, and I think the people you associate yourself with will help you get there too.
right.
So
Well, I
that's
mean,
the
if
thing.
if you're shadowing and working with and
Mhm.
have created friendships with, people who do 40 million a year,
Yeah.
and you have a question or need help, I'm sure that they're going to help you out, and that kind of is part of your package, right?
Sure.
Like you can
Sure.
tell someone the answer they need and not just guess.
And at KW domain specifically, I can tell you that because I've only been in one Keller Williams, that the open door policy is crazy there. Everyone wants to see everyone succeed. We have
Yeah, it's a really good culture
team
there.
of
It feels
oper-
good
yeah,
there.
Everyone there, like we have people that this is the business that they were born for, not just a
Mhm.
stepping stone.
Yeah,
This is a career choice.
right.
In large markets, we're seeing a lot of people, historically start real estate as like a short term.
And
I'm gonna do
till-
this
yeah,
part time,
yeah, yeah.
see what happens. But at KW Domain, those we got some serious realtors who
They're-
want to just hit that 100 million. That's where their goal is the first day. So
They're realtors, dude. That's what they
yeah,
do. They
yeah.
don't. They're not like, hey, I do this.
I posted a post last night, a photo of me. I said realtor, like the logo with the R, and then I put I love my job because
Yeah.
this is what I really do, like enjoy. And
So you do enjoy. I mean, because that's a question, right? Because you can't be that passionate if you don't actually enjoy it.
I can tell you, there's some hard days, there's some fun days.
Always.
there's great
Yeah.
days, and bad days, like in every business. But It's how you make the rest of the day after you get some bad news. But I can tell you, like, I landed, I don't know if you guys saw, it was a $10.5 million listing in
Saw that,
Bloomfield.
yeah.
I mean, that house, people say, you must know that guy. No, I don't.
How'd you get it? Let's talk about that.
Yeah,
So
I want to talk about it.
yeah.
Everyone wants to know.
Yeah.
So I talked about networking.
Yeah.
That's all I did. I reached out to the guy. I said, your house was on the market before. I want to talk to you about how your house can be properly marketed or how your house can be differently marketed. And that was just the entry to like opening up this opportunity. And I looked at it like I wasn't looking at it as a revenue generator. I was looking at it as an amenity builder, right? Because like the truth is, obviously, if I sell this, there's a great commission to it. But I forgot about. I didn't even add that up at first. I was like, this is an opportunity to really focus on how I can, market this over 15,000 square foot Italian villa that is in Bloomfield Hills.
It's wild, yeah.
And it's on 2-acre parcel. I was like just learning everything I can from the owner. He was a nice guy, and he was just he's so passionate about his own property that it was just easy to talk with him about it. So,
let's get this. So you call the guy, right?
Call the guy,
and you say this, which takes balls. So like that's the first
it
step.
Started off as a Facebook Messenger.
It doesn't matter, but that's the first step. You made an attempt. A lot of people
Yeah.
won't even attempt it, right?
Yeah.
So you made the attempt, which is big, and then you've got to obviously figure out what he wants and how you can actually add value to that, right?
Yeah. I mean, I could tell you that like the limestone in that house costs over $1 million. I mean,
wild.
people were calling me. We had a lot of CEOs, a lot of people who reached out to us about it daily. And people say, I think I can rebuild that house. I think you're nuts if you can think you can rebuild 17,000 square feet like that.
Right.
So that was just like an entry. Like that was like one of the best things I probably experienced, being able to show that, which we did have a good amount on. But, it's one of a kind property. People laugh at the price, but then you put that house on the market somewhere else, New York, Miami, Florida.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, what number are we talking about? We're talking 40 million.
Yeah.
So, lately we've been seeing a lot of executives probably transition into the Michigan market territory, and they're looking for those high-end properties. They're looking for
So I was going to
5 to
ask you
7.
about that. So obviously that high-end market is very, very that pool is small, right? It's
the
small
1%
pond.
of the 1%.
Right.
That's how I look at it. Being able to
Right.
afford at that level is challenging already.
So you're the
I'm
people
worried
that
about financing. Like, who could pay for this?
right, exactly.
So that's what I want to know.
So like the question is, so like when you market a property like that, obviously it's great for your brand to just be able to associate yourself with that and
Sure.
be able to talk to people. But on the other end, you do want to sell it.
Yeah, I
'cause
do want to sell it.
It's not just
Sell
something
it.
you just want to have a picture up and have your name next to it and not have it sell, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure you've got some money into it too,
Yeah, that obviously it's a business expense, but at the same time, it's like, you got to work to get that business expense taken care of.
for sure.
We PR'd it like there was no tomorrow.
Yeah.
Everyone saw it. Everyone learned about it. But
When you say PR for the audience, just kind of tell them what that means.
like we focused on magazines, we focused on like social, like we focused on every type of opportunity. We connected with Architectural Digest on it. There's a lot of homes in the U.S. that hit that kind of territory of like 10 or up million,
Yeah.
but you don't see it at all in Michigan. So it was just
Fair.
nice to introduce something like that to our market because a lot of the people who reached out were out of the state.
Yeah.
So
So what's your plan on that house going forward?
well, right now it's off the market. We're gonna see what happens. It's a slower time period. So
Yeah,
I
it's
think
tough,
the owner
man.
wants to make some changes.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. But it relies to like the other listings I have, which is probably right now we're seeing the 1 to 2 million selling fast.
You are seeing them sell fast.
Yeah, we're
'Cause I was
seeing
going to
them
ask you
sell
about that.
quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're seeing the high end market in that market, the 1 to 2 million, still going strong.
Yeah. I mean, we have I have a $3.5 million listing coming up. I have another newer construction coming up. A lot of new builds. A lot of builders are working really hard, tirelessly just to get these properties built, and they're not taking shortcuts. So we're seeing 350.
So what do you say to the
400.
people that are like, "Oh, the economy's slowing down, the top end's slowing down," but you're kind of contradicting that a little bit. Like, no, dude, it's moving.
I'm seeing my listing sell. That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying to it. I'm seeing the market push. I'm seeing people reach out to me, those $1 million buyers who are looking, but I don't see any inventory. That's the problem. So that's the challenge I focus on. I message my office every day. Who has something for my buyer? 'Cause
Yeah.
we got to get this guy something. But inventory is not a friend. That's the challenge.
Inventory.
Yeah.
Inventory is low right now, Sal. It's interesting enough. Like there isn't a ton of inventory. We're not seeing like in like the $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 market. We're not seeing like multiple offers like we did a few years ago. But there's still not a lot of inventory.
No, but I think that creates opportunities for builders, right? Like you said,
Yeah,
There's a lot of-
Birmingham's becoming popular with the new builds.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I haven't tackled too much in that area.
But
the new builds, but
the property, just so everybody knows, nationally that doesn't know Birmingham, Birmingham is a very affluent area here in Metro Detroit, and it's like the property values are really high, right?
yeah, the teardowns are high.
Teardowns are high. So for a builder to get in there, they have to have a high level of profit to be able to tear something down and build something
Yeah,
on
you're
top of
talking
it.
what, like a $250,000-$300,000 teardown.
Yeah, that's pretty.
You
I
know?
think I've seen even like 450. Up
Yeah,
there.
it's starting to go up there, yeah.
Depending on the lot
Location,
size,
yeah.
right?
Yeah,
So-
the lot sizes are. People don't see big lots in Birmingham, but realistically, they are big.
There's
You
some.
know,
Well, my buddy's got one. Got a full acre on his house.
Yeah, that's in Birmingham.
Yeah, bro, it's
Do
crazy.
you want to sell it?
No, he just moved.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the crazy thing is the property values are crazy. So for these teardowns, these builders, it's a big initial investment to
Sure.
go in there, tear it down, and they got to be able to build it, flip it, and get out of there pretty quick, right?
I know a lot of the builders have costs per
Yeah.
month. You know, I haven't added their costs up, but I can tell you that you can kind of tell when they get antsy. They need to sell.
Yeah, they're like, hey,
So you know,
do you work with a lot of builders?
I work with a lot of builders, but like you know, I'm starting to transition to more new construction. I have 2 new constructions are now in the market, both in the Bloomfield market. One's in Township, one's in Hills.
Yeah.
One has Bloomfield Schools, one has Birmingham.
Right.
So I love that factor because he worked on them simultaneously, and we're able to say if you don't want like this one because of the location, I got one on the
Right.
other side of town. I can show it to you.
Yeah.
So and it's all white. It's modern construction. So it's really high ceilings. Those are the type of things I love seeing in residential estate. But I'm also now more in the Detroit market too, and like the Royal Oak market. I'm helping a lot of people buy in this area too, which is
yeah.
great. And I can tell you it's a challenge because if you're not ready to go over ask sometimes, because I know you mentioned that we're not seeing those over asking offers, but those ones whose inventory is so low,
But the good ones have to. Yeah, the
yeah,
good ones. Yeah,
there's
they're
no
gone.
there's no negotiation. Like,
Yeah.
you want it. They're underpricing on purpose.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So they can get their top dollar. But I could tell you that's what pretty much Royal Oaks we're seeing right now. Even Ferndale's booming.
Ferndale. I mean, our market. So being that you came into our market kind of with fresh eyes, it's kind
Yeah.
of interesting because you
Yeah.
came in here because you weren't in the state, right?
No, I wasn't. I was in and out. I was in Chicago a lot.
Yeah.
Way I saw it is I would literally drive through neighborhoods. I would talk to my friends who
You're a super analytical guy. You could tell, right?
like my goal, my focus has always been planning versus execution.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the only way you can do it. You can come in here like what are these like the cold water, whatever.
Yeah.
Cold feet, and then try your best. But if you don't know what you're doing, then it's gonna be challenging. Like when I went to my first listing appointment, I knew, I talked about every square foot of the house. I came prepared, and I really, really wanted it. Like I didn't want to lose it because they were like, yeah, we have 6 other agents coming. I'm like 6. Like how many people do you know? Like
Yeah. Yeah.
and then I
right.
actually did get it. which
You
was-
got it.
Yeah, I got it.
Your
yeah.
first one you got.
Yeah, but they
That bodes
thought
well. That's pretty good.
they thought that I've been in the business forever too, which is fine with me.
Because your acumen was high, right?
Right.
You became a student of the game.
Yeah.
I think that's for anybody in any position. A lot of times people will go into a conversation and they don't even really understand.
Yeah, people work so hard to get the shot,
Yeah.
and then when they get the shot, they blow it
it.
because they don't know what's
One
going
thing
on.
I'm actually in this month's Real Producers is Rising Star.
Awesome. They're
Yeah, so
great
I
friends
was
of ours.
I was talking about how you'll see it. I was talking about how like when I was working with realtors in the past, I have a really close friend who's a realtor who got me like sort of in this business. I would talk with him about I want to buy these lots for building purposes, but like the experience with those realtors were so like disconnecting. So I saw there was definitely a definable need that was lacking. And that's like the hospitality factor.
Oh yeah,
And that's the same rule that applies to you. If you're not talking to your client,
listen.
they're gonna be Nancy with
The
it.
disparity between great
Yeah.
and good and bad is very big.
Right.
In our business, there's a lot of
Yeah,
bad.
it's not too hard to go from bad to good,
Right.
but it's really hard to go from even good to great, right?
I'm on my phone a lot, so I always say I have rapid communication skills.
That's
I
what
always answer the phone. I always receive the text. I always respond right back.
dude. You don't
My
understand,
clients say like, "Holy crap! Like you don't do anything else? I'm waiting on you."
dude. That's the thing.
Yeah, this is my job.
Yeah,
We
that's
like-
my job.
One of our sayings is we answer the phone.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
crazy. That's all we do. I mean, if you
Isn't
answer
it
the
funny
phone,
when someone calls you and they're like, "Sorry to bother you"? I'm
I'm
like,
like, dude, this is what
You're
I
not
do.
bothering me.
Yeah.
Right. I go to dinner at my parents' house. We have a patio. I'm on that patio. They call it when Sheel has a phone call. He just, I don't care where I'm at. I'll answer the call because I have to.
You
That's
got
my
to
job.
because that's our job.
That's our
And
job.
and if
that's
you
our
can't,
job.
you send a text, right? Hey, I'll call you in like 5 minutes.
I don't even do that.
Well, literally, like if you can't, like you're sitting in like
Yeah.
a dentist chair.
No,
You're
she'll
like,
like screw it.
I was actually I was at the foot doctor. And he was in a deep story. I said, "You got to pause the story. Like, this is money on the line right here."
That's
But,
awesome.
No, I those are my traits. I talk about how I was working with realtors who I didn't have a good experience with. I didn't get like a response like a week, and then next thing I know, it's pending. I'm like, what the heck happened?
It's wild.
So I lost like lots that I wanted to use to build on. So then I focused like, how can I put my hospitality skills to the business? How can I put the client relationship part of this business? So like rapid communication, always making sure your client comes first, those type of things. Like I'm hunting. Like,
you're hungry.
Yeah,
You're
hungry.
And you're providing a good service, because ultimately, as a buyer, as a seller, as a client, when you have a question, we have a need, and you want to talk to someone, and you don't get any response, and there's a black hole, like that person gets anxiety. Like Sal, when we got a client and they're doing a mortgage, and as a loan officer you don't call them back, they start thinking crazy thoughts.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
They don't know what's
Is
happening.
it good? Is it going through?
Right. Is there a problem?
And especially sometimes you work with someone who's bought before or did a mortgage, right? And they're like, I'm like, dude, it's good. Like, we're gonna get the clear to close tomorrow. Or whatever. They're like freaking out that because
they've had such a bad experience. Yeah.
They're like
Right.
gun shy, right? I'm like, it's gonna be okay, right? But they can't. Sometimes people can't trust you till it actually happens.
This is the beauty of this business and real estate in general, right? In any part of it, like you can literally come in 18 months ago, a year ago, 2 years ago, whatever it is, carve out a name for yourself, work hard, and actually have success.
Yeah, and
It's not easy.
and I love the referrals that you get from it. It's like it's
The
nuts.
residual, yeah. But when you do good work, people will call you back.
Yeah, so every other realtor has their way how to do their business. I'm really organized, so that helps out a lot, because if you're not organized, I don't think it's gonna work.
Yeah.
But I just listen to everyone. I'm a good listener. But like I said, our brokerage, without them, I don't think I'd actually be able to succeed, because we really have like the tools that make us different, and sets us apart. The consumers can continue to agree since they keep coming to us.
Domain is doing a really good job.
Yeah.
And in general, that office, it feels good when you walk in there. I can always tell when an office sell, and you know this. We've been in a lot of offices. When you walk into an office, you feel energy.
Right.
And but when you walk into some offices, you feel death.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Older.
it's just there. It just doesn't feel vibrant, right?
We have a great marketing team. We have a great leadership team.
Mhm.
Those people, like I said, are focused on this as their career,
Yeah.
not just something they do. But more importantly, also, like I've also come to the conclusion that it doesn't matter where you work or who you work with, it matters how you work.
Yeah.
You can put me in a box. I'll still be doing the same thing that I
Right.
still do every day. But those people, the whole operation we have is an amenity to my business.
There's value there. That's the
there's
thing.
tons of value.
You go where there's value. Wherever people are, if you feel like you're not getting value
Yeah.
for the people that are around you, then you have a right now to move somewhere else.
Right.
Yeah, and I do believe that for some agents, the value isn't necessarily in the brand when they have such a big brand for themselves, right? But like for like a solo agent who's like getting going, like that's huge.
Yeah.
Right.
It's
To have
gonna
all
be
that
over,
around
I
you.
think over 10 million.
And it's
Yeah.
something that you keep talking about, and I think the new generation is really gravitating to this. And I think like we've had other agents on here that have talked about this. Their marketing plan is solid. They're really thinking about social. They're thinking about marketing. They're thinking about all this stuff, and it's a whole package. Whereas some other people will be like, "Oh, I don't need that." Well, no, you do in this market. You're going to start needing it more and more because the people that gravitate towards that are going to start getting the
Right.
business.
I feel like the only people who really need to go to like EXP or something like that, where there's no cuts or full commissions, right? Like they're still paying for marketing. You know what I mean? Like they've got like a marketing staff that they pay
Right.
for.
I actually
right?
haven't read too much about EXP, but I see like I see a lot of agents going there. and
There's a lot of
it's a
agents.
cloud, right? That's what it is.
Well, a lot of people chase the splits, right?
Okay, yeah.
And well, they also have like their profit sharing situation where it's like you can recruit people and make money off them. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of for some people it works. Everything I think
I think every
everything-
agent has a different value
right.
to where their license is at, right? Some people are just go solo and do it their own, right?
It's never fair to say, oh, that brokerage sucks, right? Because
No,
that
never
might be
say
good
that,
for
yeah.
someone else,
No,
right?
right,
Or everything. Everybody fits somewhere, right?
Sure, yeah.
It just depends on what you want out of your business.
but like you said, in your market,
Well,
like, it's a good fit.
like
Yeah.
our street, Old Woodwards, like the corridor, like I didn't even realize that every real estate agency, we had Sotheby's, we had Max Brook, we had all the top tier
yeah.
agencies, and any of them are great. I know agents from all of them.
Yeah.
So everyone does Hunter. I mean, there's so many.
yeah,
But like I
they
said,
all do a good job.
I mean, just make sure you're like wherever you're at, they're giving what you want.
Value.
Yeah,
Are you getting value from
Right,
where
right.
you're at? That's really the bottom line. Do you
Yeah.
feel like you're getting some value from where you're at? And if you are, perfect.
Yeah,
you know what I
then
mean?
be happy.
Then be happy, right?
So you guys are Omega,
Yeah.
18 months.
Yeah.
And you guys are running your operation out in Royal Oak now.
Yeah, right off Main Street.
That's legit.
Yeah, it's been a wild ride, man. Like for us, it's been, we're kind of living the same thing as you are, right? We worked for other people for a long time, but then we decided to go out on our own, and it's hard. But like you said, it takes hard work.
You're the CEO.
Yeah,
CEOs of your own business.
Yeah, yeah, and you know what? It's not too different from what agents do, or even like loan officers. Like it's just we just own the business now. We can kind of drive our own ship, right? And I think that's really important. We are just like you, though. We have to make sure we provide value to our people and to our clients. Yeah. The day that we stop adding value to our
employees
and our employees, right?
If we're not doing a great job,
we have 15 families now that rely on us. That's pretty scary. Think about that.
Yeah,
you got to think about it.
It's kind of different. It's like, not that it's. I'm sure you don't like take sick days or anything like that, right? But like, I don't care if I feel sick or I'm hungover or I'm tired or whatever. It's like I'm in.
Yeah.
I like you said, though, we go to the office every day.
Yeah, which is how you do it.
It's rare that we don't go to the office. And at least, we like you said, though, I don't care what you do, but when you go there, work. Whether it's 3 hours or 4 hours or 5 hours, work. Yeah. Right.
Which is funny, right? Because I feel like I could do on my end so much more to get more business and network, but somehow with what I've had before. Now that we've transitioned into this, like I never leave the office. I'm always there. Yeah. And somehow it's still doubled what I was doing before. Right?
Service.
Right.
Service, yeah.
It's funny. You got to kind of now figure out how to grow from there, though, right?
Right.
Retool.
Right. You guys have a great brand. I see it everywhere. So
we're very fortunate that we've kind of built a good brand. But I think in today's market, Sheel, I honestly think brand is very important. I think marketing is very important.
Yeah.
But ultimately you have to back it up.
Yeah,
you can't just have the marketing and suck. Right?
It just looks good on paper.
Yeah, you got to be a badass in every field, right?
Yeah.
So
and I think that's what I tell people all the time, especially new realtors, to just reach out to someone.
Go talk to
Don't text anyone, call them.
Yeah.
See what happens. See if they answer. They
Go
don't
have
answer.
Lunch
Then
with someone.
Yeah, that's how I did it. And I would probably say that it moved pretty quick for me when I first started, which was nice. I had people who were talking, I want to buy in the next 6-7 months. Well, I started talking to them. I started showing them stuff. They didn't buy in 6 months. They bought stuff in 2 to 3 months.
It always happens.
So that's why I was like, the job, obviously, yes, it is hard.
But you have to be top of mind.
Yeah, exactly. So, like, you got to be prepared.
Mm-hmm.
So then I just noticed that, like, if you just keep reaching out to people, keep doing a network like there's no tomorrow. That's how I say it.
Yeah.
And it'll be done.
Hey, let's define networking, because a lot of people are like, well, I don't know, I don't know where to go. I don't know people, right? I don't know. Networking is literally go meet someone. It can be anybody, bro. They don't have to.
If you have to,
right? They don't have to be like in the market. Just this guy. It was a cool guy. Let me go talk to him. Tell him what you do. Oh, I know this guy. Okay, that guy tells you that guy. Let me go meet with that guy. Networking.
And it can feel corny going to like those meetings, right? Like or
networking groups.
Like a networking group. And I've gone to like 4 of them. I
always
never
meet
took it to
someone.
the next step because it was like, oh, pay $400, right? And you got to be here at like 6 a.m. on every other Wednesday. But from those, I've still gained relationships just from that one, right? Like we were both like,
and that's important too. And you guys also, networking with your own peers is also great too.
Yeah,
I mean that's how I found houses for my buyers. So that's another thing too. When I first started, I was actually representing a lot more buyers than sellers,
for sure,
which is I think pretty typical. But
it's not typical to transition as fast as you did, though.
Well, it's if you keep at it, right? Let's say it'll work.
Yeah, it's
well, you
awesome.
focus on, you'll find.
Yeah, like people say, oh, you must be like a luxury real estate agent. I'm a realtor. Like, I will sell you. I have investment clients. I have people who buy $100,000 houses, and then guess what? They call me whenever it's finished and resell them for $200,000 houses.
And you don't say no to them.
No, I never say no. I never say. I helped a friend, and I became very close with all my clients, which is fun.
Yeah.
With a flashlight, looking at houses at nighttime in Detroit because he needed to find something.
Did you have a gun?
No, I didn't have a gun. I told him I was very scared, but he had a what do you call it, concealed?
Yeah.
So I was like, if something pops off, you'll be here.
There's some seedy parts of Detroit, brother.
So we helped them buy. I helped them buy a house for $75,000.
But see, what I'm hearing from
with
you,
the flashlight, literally.
That's wild, man.
They didn't have the power on.
That's wild.
Right.
So I didn't mind. I liked it. I thought it was fun. I thought I learned about these scary properties.
Yeah.
So it's not even scary. Like he rehabbed it. So it's amazing now.
Right.
I just had dinner there.
Oh,
Is
no,
this the same house?
Yeah, there are a lot of people doing that, man. I think something that you're really keen on, you're relationship driven.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that to me is the most powerful thing. It's
Right.
like because there's a lot of people that are transactional in this business.
Yeah.
They're more worried about the transaction than they are worried about the relationships,
Yeah.
right?
I don't even count the transactions. I see what's on my plate. I focus as much as I can on those elements, and then just make sure I deliver 110% each time.
Yeah.
So that's what I notice.
Yeah, that's interesting.
And it's also really important. Like my business is also reflective on how you guys also perform on the mortgage side too.
You got to have
So
a good team.
yeah, I call it the dream team. I got the mortgage team
Yeah.
who always was gonna get my back.
Yep.
I'm gonna get their back by getting a client too.
Yes.
And then we all get the W if we all can deliver it strong.
Yeah, I mean, you got to look at like the reviews, right?
Yeah.
It's like Sal and Omega or Paul and Omega, right?
Mm-hmm.
But with real estate, it's not like Sheel and Keller Williams. I mean, you are yourself, right?
Yeah.
And like
Yeah,
you have
yeah.
to represent yourself in the best way possible to get raving fans.
I think a lot of
essentially.
agents don't appreciate or value the team.
Yeah.
They don't.
And I would tell like new agents all the time. I said call as many people as you can, and not clients. I said call electricians,
Yeah.
call builders,
Yeah.
call anyone who can help. If you have a client who says, "I need to get this paint,"
You need to
fixed,
be able to
I need to be able to send them my
Yeah.
contact, and that's my contact who I actually put trust in.
Yeah.
And luckily, I've had some bad experiences with some, like when it comes to like landscaping, but then I was able to rectify that situation by bringing someone else, and that's just my thing. So surround yourself with the winners who you can rely on.
Because then there's two things that happens. If they ask you if you know someone and you're like, no, I don't know. Well, you want to be able to give them the right person
Yeah.
because you want to service them. That's your service to them, right?
Right, exactly.
And then on the other hand, though, if you give them someone and they don't perform, you look like an asshole.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Which
So-
is funny, like a lot of people have like their in-house title or their in-house lender, right? Or like, hey, everyone uses this inspector, so I guess I'll just use them too.
Which is not the case for everyone, especially me too. Like I use everyone who I can. I love giving everyone business. So that's how I look at it as fair. But more importantly, like my inspector, like I try to go for him, my main guy all the time.
Yeah,
'Cause he-
well, you know he does a
performs,
good
yeah,
job
he
and
does.
he's
He's
fair
always
and he's going to do a good,
well.
right?
Yeah.
So
Like,
That's the other thing. That as a real estate agent, you got to have that right team that you can depend on and trust and make you look good. Because ultimately,
there's so much
you know,
disservice
I did
in
like
this.
12 like with him within not 12. I did like 7 with him, but then he sent me 2 clients. I was like,
Oh, word.
yeah. I was
All
like,
right.
there you go.
Yeah. All right.
Now I'm always gonna call you.
Yeah. So now you're giving each other help, right?
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
that's where it's at. Like having a good network will create more opportunities for
But
you.
that relationship was already built on
Good work.
trust
Yeah.
Yeah.
and good work, right? As
Yeah.
opposed to him, hey, I got a client for you. You got to use me on all your inspections.
Because that
right?
became his client too.
Right.
That's how it was nice. And
Yeah.
then my clients who are my friends now also referred like their own friends to use him.
Yeah.
Even though I wasn't the realtor on those transactions, they still recommended
That's
me.
how it works.
It's funny how
Yeah.
you can sometimes look at the web you created from, like, for example, like our insurance guy, right? Like, he doesn't really give us any business,
get
but
any
he does a
business, yeah.
real good job.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
Yeah, he's at work.
so it's like, boom,
trust him.
boom, boom. We see, like, down the line somehow, some way, like, oh, yeah, I already got my insurance through him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How'd you? Well, he talked to him. It's like a family tree that this guy's business is exploding, but he just does a good job.
It's crazy when
You know?
when your network it starts really expanding and you can pick up the phone and get anything done that you need and you trust the people and you know it'll get done right. That's when you really like when you have a strong network. That's powerful.
Yeah, for
You know,
sure.
that's
Yeah.
powerful.
I've been noticing that too. I mean, I get noticed on like people come up to me, oh, you're that realtor. Like, yeah, I am that realtor. Where are you looking to buy?
Yeah.
Where are you looking to sell?
Yeah.
So, but I mean, that's just the network that my friends say. Oh, my friend, they told me to reach out to you. I love getting those messages.
Yeah.
How can I help? I'm here to serve. I'm here to help you out.
So what's next? What in your mind? Like, so we're going into the winter.
We're going into the winter. I'm not even thinking the winter. I'm thinking we're going into 2020.
Yeah.
You know? So,
Yeah.
I have probably a lot of good active buyers who I need to help find inventory for.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that we see a pickup with that. You know, if you're looking to sell, it's obviously the best time. I think that the fall is actually a better market because summer's booming, obviously. But a lot of like the high-end clients, those guys travel. They're not here.
Yeah.
So when it comes to fall, they're actually looking. They're looking to sell too.
Yeah.
So that's
you shine better because there's not as much on the market, right?
Right, exactly. So, we're just trying to figure out how the fall is really going to look. But I think it's going to be an amazing opportunity if you're looking to buy or sell because the interest rates are even great too, right?
The price of money's cheap.
Yeah.
Real
Especially
cheap.
on those giant loans.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, like,
Listen, when you're wealthy, you look for the price of money, and it matters, right? So, price of money is cheap for everybody, not just the wealthy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
So, I think it is a good time to buy, and I think some in the $300,000, $400,000, $500,000, $200,000 market, it's more of a buyer's market too, so you're gonna have some leverage too, right?
Which is great.
Yeah. So between those two things, between the price of money being low and having some leverage as a buyer, if you're gonna buy, this is a pretty good time to buy.
And I've been helping a lot of first-time home buyers, which is really fun.
Mm-hmm. That's the best.
Yeah, it's really fun explaining how the process works.
Yeah.
It's actually just routine now, but at the same time, it's just really fun to hand those keys over. I'm closing on something in Royal Oaks soon. It's a loft. I'm really excited for my guy to buy it. He's so pumped for him and his dog. So I'm excited for them too. But he also got a great interest rate. So that's what he was like, oh, how's 3.7%? Like this was a month ago. How's 3.7 or 6 sound? I'm like, well, last year someone was getting 5.5. So there must be something good.
That's awesome. That's awesome, man. Well, we're starting to get short on time, brother. But we're gonna do this thing called 3 questions.
Okay.
Where we ask you 3 questions.
Oh boy.
Yeah. And you've got to answer them. So
Got the wire.
Yeah. First question is, we always ask the same one, is what scares Sheel?
What scares Sheel? I would probably say that just lacking, losing the mentality, losing the focus. Those are the things that can easily happen in this business. So people who do have to deal with that, who are maybe shy about it, I would say just, talk with someone who's really, really good in the business and ask them the same question.
Yeah. Do you ever feel like it's a race, like you're being chased?
Sometimes, but then sometimes I'm like, I got stuff on the plate I got to deal with. Forget the race. Let me finish the plate. Then we'll go back to the race.
Yeah, it's hard to, this is how I look at it. I always feel like if I let up for a minute, someone's going to catch us. Right?
It's easy to get into your head, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's a rat race. There's a million people doing this. What am I doing, right?
It is fun competition.
But then you think, wait, I could, work somewhere and be, crunching spreadsheets and be, super miserable. Okay, this is actually fun, right?
Yeah, it is fun,
Yeah,
but
it
it can be scary at the same time.
Yeah.
So, I can't predict the market, how it transitions. It's
right.
Sell your home, help the market.
Right. All right, next question. If you could spend a week in somebody else's body, who would it be and why?
Who would it be?
Yeah.
I mean, if I could spend a week, not even a day, talking a whole week.
Yeah, a whole week.
I gotta think how they live. Honestly, probably Ryan Serhant, right? He's killing it.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. So if you're listening,
Ryan Serhant's a good one. I like Josh Altman. I like all the guys in the TV
funny,
shows.
Josh Altman.
I saw that. Yeah, with Vic. Right?
Yeah, he reposted our shit.
Those guys are great. But from what I see on their weekly stuff, it looks like they stay active. So
they're hustling, bro.
Yeah.
They're not. They don't
pick
just
only
have.
someone in my industry, So that's how I look at it.
I think those guys were doing good before the show, and then they
Yeah.
got the show, and they're like, "Wait a minute,
Yeah.
I got something here." And they're just taking it. Boom, they're taking off, right?
Yeah.
Sirhan especially. Both those guys are really taking off. Some of them fell off. They had the show. They just really got. I think,
Some of my favorites actually fell off.
yeah,
So-
it was interesting. But those two are really pushing.
Yeah. That's why I was watching the show before I even got into real estate. Then
Yeah.
I was like, this looks amazing.
Yeah.
But it's nothing like that.
No.
There ain't no limos. There ain't
No,
nothing
you're not.
like
You don't have
that.
your private driver.
I'm over here crunching time, talking to Siri.
Yeah, it makes it look real. Look, they do live those
Talking
lives,
to
but it's
Siri.
very, very few people that
Yeah.
do that. So,
Yeah.
next question is: who is the one person that you would say has been the biggest inspiration in your life?
Biggest inspiration, definitely I have family members. I got a dad who's he's a cardiologist. He's really hardworking.
Yeah,
He's always out of the house at
Yeah.
5 a.m. too. So probably the family.
Yeah.
The family is a unit. Everyone works really hard in my family, so we're really close.
Does your mom ever say that you should have been a doctor?
Oh, it's funny because
Because my mom,
call her,
no matter how good I'm doing, I'm like, Mom, I'm doing. She's like, okay, your cousin, he's a doctor.
yeah. But it's like I got my MBA, so she was happy. But the way I saw it was that medicine is great. Doctors are amazing when it comes what they do.
Yeah.
But when it comes to business, they're a little
They
short
don't.
side on
No, they don't know business.
They're not crunching numbers.
No, they're saving lives, bro.
Yeah. I'm helping my dad, with the finances now. So
Yeah.
that's what my MBA is in finance and marketing. So
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, let me just use these tools to help everyone.
That's interesting. Having a father that was a doctor, and then you go into the business world. It's very different.
Yeah, but luckily they didn't really tackle me on
No,
it.
they're
I
very
got brothers
supportive,
who
yeah.
are doctors, so it helps out with them.
Okay, so
They took care of it. Yeah.
That's awesome. So they have one in the family. All right, man. Tell the audience how they can get a hold of you, brother.
You can reach out to me. It's 248-249-3122 or just Sheel at KW Domain, and that is Sheel at KW.com. So reach out if you're looking to buy or sell. I'll be happy to help. If you're looking to grow your business, and just want to network, reach out to me too.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
And call him. He'll network with you, man,
Yeah.
because I think you're open to that.
Let's see if I answer the phone.
You might get a lot of phone calls. So no, you're not. Nobody listens. So
Yeah, she forgot to push record.
yeah, exactly. Jessica, thank you for doing what you do every day.
My pleasure.
How you been? You been good?
Good. How
Yeah?
about you?
Good. You like the show? Was it good? Was Sheil good?
Yeah,
I think Sheil did a good job.
I'm
I
okay.
think so.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay.
You actually stayed in front of the mic, so thank you for
Yeah,
that.
yeah, that's a
You
big
got to
deal.
listen, right?
Yeah. So, all right, everyone. Thank you, everyone, for listening. Everybody that's reached out. We will be back next week. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Bye bye. That's it.
Easy, huh?
You've been